This podcast is powered by IAMOps.io. Optimize your cloud infrastructure and CI/CD process with IAMOps.io dedicated DevOps team. Check out www.iamops.io and get a DevOps team now. Why food tech? Why specifically in that field?
It's a very good question. Maybe I will talk a little bit about myself before. I'm an entrepreneur and CEO of several startup companies and also was a venture capitalist in other fields. In the 4 or 5 years ago, when the food tech started in Israel, nobody knew about that. Nobody wanted to invest in food tech. But I looked at that, and I had a friend in one of the food tech incubators in Israel that was established by the Strauss Group. Strauss is the second largest food company in Israel, and Ofra Strauss said that she's going there. And it was interesting, nobody knew about that, nobody wanted to invest, but it was very obvious to me at some point that this market is in disruption. Why? Because of several things. One is that the population of the world is just growing and we have limited sources, but this is something that everybody who is dealing with sustainability, ag-tech and food tech is saying. But second to that, and this is what I understand from Tempo and Tnuva and Strauss here in Israel. Tempo is the second largest beverage company in Israel, held partially by Heineken, the Heineken global beer maker. That in a way, the tools that the food technologies use in order to produce a new food is no longer exist. I mean, let's take an example. Let's take the Doritos. I don't know if you have the Philippine Doritos as a snack, okay, or
I can imagine.
Frito-Lay or chips in a snack. Chips. Let's say that you want to have a new taste in the chips and as a snack, right? As a snack. So 7 years ago, you went to the consumer and said, what taste do you want to have? Let's say that they said onion taste. So you went to the lab and told your technologist, do me a chips with a taste of onion. Okay, so what did they do? They went to the lab and then they started to use sugar, salt, ingredients such as taste material, colors, gluten, proteins from animals, etc. All these tools almost no longer exist, meaning we don't want to use any protein for animal anymore. Some of the ingredients that you use in terms of colors and taste considered to bring cancer. So you don't want to use them anymore. You don't want to use any more gluten. You don't want to use sugar anymore at more than a certain level. You don't want to use salt. So basically there are no tools for the technologies to build up new products, new food products. And this is disrupting the whole food and beverage area. So this is why we said that in Israel, about 7 years ago, we had the science in the universities. So we saw a migration in the scientists from mainly medical, pharmaceutical, and biotech to the field of food tech and ag tech, but mainly food tech. And then we saw the incubators and the early investors, the pre-seed and seed investors coming into the field, starting to take this science and make it technology. And now we are at where the technology becomes a product. And now you need to take it to a POC at the large companies, scale up, regulation, go to market, expansion, execution, etc. And this is where we are. We are investing post-technology hurdle. After you have something and now you want to take it to the next level.
This podcast is powered by IAMOps.io. Optimize your cloud infrastructure and CI/CD process with IAMOps.io dedicated DevOps team. Check out www.iamops.io and get a DevOps team